Hello and welcome to the February energy forecast. We're trying this as a video this month just as an experiment, so it will involve me reading the written forecast that you can find online and also just sharing a few extras about what I see in the forecast or how to use it. The way I write these is just to tune in and bring something through, so of course, as with anything, it's not going to be relevant for everybody, and even parts of it won't be relevant for those that do resonate with some of it, but the intention is to see if it can be helpful to the way that you navigate the month. So here goes. February energy forecast, resolutions and solar balance. The theme of trust will run through the month of February as you build not only greater but new trust in yourself, the world and life itself. The past will rear its head from time to time so that you can move forward once more. Many of you will revisit past places and relationships where the expansion of trust was challenged for you rather than nurtured. This may happen in reality, and you will find yourself making contact with or being contacted by people from your past. But for the most part, it will take place in dreams and daydreams as you filter things through your minds, hearts, and energy bodies. This filtering process allows you to identify, then heal the bruises some more, so you can move forward with less weight. This resolution of past experiences began mid-January and is continuing through February. Moving through deeper layers of past wounding, times or relationships where you experienced deep fear or suffering in yourself will reappear in your body and mind in fast and unexpected ways. Money and health, survival, and relationships with others will also be the focus of fears and resolutions in February. As and when this resolution energy moves in on you, recognize the tendency of the mind to become overactive when we are ignoring or fighting the size of our emotions. Choose to focus solely on the feelings as they arise and let them come through you, while simply observing any old or confused thoughts without believing or walking toward them. If you become aware you feel unsettled or unhappy, sit in a chair or on the floor, place a hand on your stomach and one on your heart, and simply breathe through the emotions until they clear and release. Tell yourself all is well, and trust that your body and your heart can deal with the size of what you are feeling, and that you can guide this process for yourself. Suppression is lifting in our world on every level. It is part of the rise in power that 2012 will bring to each of us individually and collectively. This raises the roof on what can be experienced and released. Many of you will feel compelled to say what you have previously suppressed to others, and to let go of body addictions or patterns that allow you to suppress or numb yourselves from feeling and seeing clearly. Often people believe that leaving suppression is merely wonderful, but in my experience of us as humans, this is a journey that, like birthing a child, has some labour pains before the new arrival emerges. So be supportive and kind to yourselves if you are letting go of some crutches this month. Those of you who have put yourselves second to others for a long time will feel a compulsion to shake yourself into life, very extremely. And often for you, your lower emotional states will appear as grief or sadness. You can instead expect anger and frustration to rise at you at times in February. This is because you are allowing through all of your suppressed fire, creativity, expression, life force. This is fire that you suppressed while you were in service to or seeking the fire of others rather than bringing your own fire to the party. And conversely, the opposite lower emotional experiences will be true. Those of you who generally consider yourselves to be warriors or strong and fiery will get in touch with deep vulnerabilities and sadness this month, as sensitivity fluctuations on the planet flush through our systems. This balancing is important for centering, and by the last week of February, an opportunity to center more after undertaking this fire journey will be apparent. So just allow what you feel, and if you feel nervous of expressing your fire around others, take time alone. Recognize when we're irritable with others, it is the release of anger in tiny pockets. So if you're angry, get yourself to a place where you can just be with your own feelings. As for many of you sensitives, the feelings of others will be claustrophobic at times this month. You will need personal space for your own releases. Some of you will also feel triggered around world and personal safety. For the longest time, even if you didn't agree with or support the system of our society, that system has been wrapped around us and we have been held within it. Now, as we move ahead into the coming decade, revolution of that system is well underway, including money safety. This removes the previous walls we were held within and is unleashing a collective fear and anxiety around that system. Even if you don't align with the fear-based beliefs of some, the emotions those people are releasing can be felt energetically as waves. For those of you who remember first moving away from the family home, this phase, and 2012 as a whole, is a similar growing up and leaving home process. It is occurring energetically in our collective and can be tangibly felt. There is the excitement of open possibility and new beginnings, alongside the fear of the unknown and the removal of the old boundaries and rules of living. Keep breathing through it all. Take your time and do not rush at anything you're uncertain of in any way. There will be some great opportunities coming your way this month as a result of the space created by all the resolution and energetic clear out. In many cases, these opportunities will be there to show you heights available to you. But remember, the first option presented is not always the best for you. So there is a need to honor patience above all else. If what is offered is true for you, then remember it will still be available some weeks down the line if you don't feel 100% sure you can bring your energy to it in the now. As usual, honor your own personal balance and needs above all else. This is a time where your needs are now of the utmost importance, so you can regain your authentic power, as you will be needing it in the coming years to be of the greatest service to you and to others. Finally, remember the power of intentions. Words magically change the energy of a person and a space. So, for example, if your wish is to create more loving, supportive relationships in your life, then write out a simple sentence such as, I invite more loving and supportive people and relationships into my life. Choose whichever words feel right to you based on the theme you are trying to move, and then place the intention on a wall or some other visible place in your home. This will create a powerful shift for you in these 2012 energies of faster manifestation. The words will have a vibrational effect on your whole environment if you make them visible. And whenever you see and walk through the reconfigured environment of these words, they will have an effect of realigning and directing you. Try it and see. You deserve nothing less. And for those of you who work with the chakras consciously, the most active chakra of this month will be the solar plexus, located an inch or two above the navel. So as a daily practice, placing your palm over this area or a crystal of your choice will help balance this center and ultimately all of your own energetic movements in February. Okay, so just a couple of things I want to pick up on from the forecast. First of all, this idea of the past cycling through us. I mean, with human evolution, emotional and psychological, we do tend to kind of go through layers, but there is a rapid shift around clearing the past at the moment and resolving things. And I mean, it's been going on for some years for many people, but there is a particular intensity right now, and that will continue in some ways for the next few months, but we're very much in the center of it right now. So many of you will have been experiencing this for some weeks, and you can expect to experience it for some more weeks. Try not to get too caught up in the thoughts or the analysis of it and just keep breathing it through the body. If you imagine a bottle of wine, you have this small funnel at the top with a cork, and then you have this bigger body of the bottle. We're a little like that with our minds and our emotions. When the emotions get very big, the mind can start spinning, because if you're not embodying your emotional self or working with the emotions in the body, we tend to take things up to the mind because that's where most of society is living and where we're encouraged to live and where we've been trained to live. So if you can just allow those 8 thoughts that are spinning for that one emotion to just be there, not get too absorbed into them, and try not to join them, and just sit yourself down, put a hand on your heart, a hand on your stomach, breathe, recite, all is well. You'll bring yourself back to a center, and you'll also allow your body to process what it's trying to process through the thoughts. The other aspect I wanted to pick up on was this rebalancing. So fiery people feeling very vulnerable, and people who usually feel vulnerable quite fiery. It's to do with many things, but one of the things that the Z's talk about is with the pole shift that we're experiencing in the world, a lot of opposite behaviors and experiences are emerging for people to their norm. So there's a strong energy this month for those of you who normally are quite mild, being quite fiery and getting in touch with that. And again, it's all energy. It originates in the base when you're dealing with anger. So again, you can just breathe your way through it and not be afraid of it. Many people are afraid of their own personal anger. Anger when aimed destructively or with an intent at somebody else. That's different to just feeling your own anger or frustration without denying it or judging it. And finally, the power of intentions. So I'm sure many of you have worked with this, but the one thing I always say around intentions and affirmations, which the Z's have talked about a lot, is literally if you write them down rather than just say them aloud, you bring them into the physical form. And then if you place them somewhere in your environment on a wall so that you can see them and keep connecting to them, it will reconfigure not only the environment that you're in, but your own mind and perceptions and expectations whenever you see those words. So charge up the walls of your home. It can lead to some very interesting conversations with other people you might be living with who wouldn't do or ascribe to that kind of thing. But hey, that's part of the tapestry. So sending you all lots of love. Look after yourselves and each other. Remember in January what the forecast said was that we would all be a lot more tired than we were expecting, and I know that was certainly true for me. So I hope you are all continuing to rest, and lots of love until next month. Take care, everyone.